NYC Indian, and today we're going to be reviewing Love After Lockup. So, did you guys check it out last night? This is going to be brought to you from an urban native perspective, a mixed perspective, and a secular perspective. So, let's dive right on in. So, we start off the episode with Derek. Oh my God. So, we knew he was hiding something. And we figured maybe it was going to be like, in the vein of another female, but another woman, I should say. And we were right. So he starts going, oh, well, I knew who that was calling me. I have a, or who was chasing me. I have a feeling, it was her and everything. And, he just decides to reveal the identity of this woman. So apparently, through his brother, I guess, who was incarcerated, he met this woman who is actually a CO. Like, oh my God, how crazy is this? Because you can get in a lot of trouble for that, right? So they started talking or whatever, and he had her thinking she's the only one, because that's what they always do, right? And because I remember when he was at the bank with Monique and they were about to put in that $9,000, and he said he made all that in prison, and I was like, okay, how much personal training and how much, like, of your job, like your prison, assigned employment is gonna like give you that much money? I mean, he wasn't locked up for that long, right? And what is it, the most I have, from what I understand, the most you can get per hour is like 50 cents in like maybe just one state, but they're making like pennies, right? So how are you getting $9,000? So anyway, apparently he had a little boo thing, right? Who was all up in the prison. So and she's a former CO, but I'm assuming that she was the CO when he was there. Because he said they were getting along. So he's making it seem like they spent real time together in real life. Um, and so so he gets her on the phone or whatever, and he's like, you know, um, you were was that she following me? And she was like, oh yeah, it might have been or whatever. And she finally admits it. But here's the thing, like you know, if you're a former CO, and I don't know if she's still working there or just his former CO, I'm not exactly sure all the dynamics there, but like, are you not afraid to go to jail, like with this high speed chase? So according to her during the conversation, she was the one that said hi, Derek, in the van that was parked next to them, that Monique was saying, before the whole car chase situation happened. She said there was somebody who said hi, Derek, and he acted like he didn't hear the person or whatever, but it was actually this other girlfriend. So yeah, she decides to give him a high speed chase, which is absolutely ridiculous. Do you not value your own freedom? Like, it's so crazy to me, like that up the last season we had the lady who was the nurse who started dating the inmate. Like, do you not care about your license? Do you not care about your like, it's just so mind-blowing. So he had us thinking the whole time, like, oh, I don't know who that is or whatever, but he knew, and he was just being completely messy. He had he totally knew who that was, because you're not going to tell me that he did not see her when she was in that van and she said hello to him, right? Because he was acting like he didn't know who she was at first. So let's go to Travis and Ashley. Guys, listen, I have to drink during these little sessions, okay? Because my throat gets a little bit parched, okay? So anyway, all right, so let's go to Travis and Ashley. So we start the scene with her being an absolute mess. We always knew she was like on the brink of a mess, because every like scene she's crying, right? So, whether it's out of happiness or whatever, but she's always crying. She's just like a complete mess. So now she's going off and she's telling the cameras, get out. I don't want to talk about this. Like, she's completely embarrassed. So come to find out, her landlord decides that now that she has Travis living in her house, he's going to kick her out. So, and she says that he only gave her 2 weeks to move out. Now, I know they're in Florida, and I don't know all the landlord tenant laws. And Florida is, I mean, listen, shout out to everybody who lives in Florida, because you all's elected officials are living in complete stone ages. I mean, it's very special in Florida. I've lived there, and it's a state that I would never live in again, because of, a lot of their laws. And I don't know if they have some law that is so in favor of the tenant that would allow a landlord to evict someone 2 weeks with only 2 weeks notice if they're all paid up. All right. So here's the thing. Was she behind on that rent? Were there some bad check? I mean, what was going on? Because I can't see. Okay, now, okay, here's the thing. So I know that some landlords will require a background check on the tenants. So if you move in and then you want to move in your whomever, family member, whatever, a lot of times the landlords will say, okay, we got to run the credit and all the stuff with this person moving in as well. So if that were the case, he could say, if the landlord could say, okay, well, this person didn't go through the proper channels, therefore you are in violation of your lease, I can kick you out in 15 days. Okay, but to be able to keep the security deposit, so she lost everything in a short amount of time. So that makes me think maybe she was in arrears with the rent. Now, she didn't say she was, but I mean, what else could it be? How could a landlord just kick you out with only 2 weeks notice? So if the landlord said, okay, you can't have anybody in here without going through the proper channels, and if you do it, you're in violation of the lease, then, and if you do it, okay, I'm going to kick you out, but you have 30 days, right? Whatever happened to 30 days? So if she doesn't have 30 days, I'm thinking there's something else going on. So anyway, Travis doesn't understand. Well, I'm getting completely ahead of myself because this is all going through her mind and she's going off and stuff like that. But Travis doesn't know what's going on. He's like, why is she flipping out? So then she tells us that the business has been bad and she's actually been broke, and she's so busy trying to kick out the camera crew, and she's been buying metal detectors and chartering not cruises but chartering little boat rides out on the water and stuff like that. So where is this money coming from? This is what I need to understand. So that's why I'm thinking of, there's some terms in that lease agreement that perhaps allegedly were violated, because it doesn't make any other sense. So let's go over to Justine and Michael. So we see or Michael, he's at the computer, right, and he's trying to do his business, and the kids are going wild. Now this looked a little bit scripted, I'm not gonna lie, right? It looked a little fake, but kids do fight and stuff like that. And Michael is over there looking rough. Okay, now anybody with curly hair, we know what that struggle is like. When there's like no gel in the hair, and like you're not going anywhere. I was definitely feeling that struggle for a second. And he's over there looking like, oh my God, I'm just trying to get my work done. Could you all just stop it? He's typing and stuff like that. And then he gets on the phone with Justine, and Justine is like, he's like, oh, I need some help over here. She's like, yeah, well, I'm busy. I haven't been feeling well. So like, in other words, like, get used to it. This is your new life. This is what you signed up for. And you got these kids. Okay. Yours are over I guess in New Hampshire. Is that, yeah, or no, either New Hampshire or Rhode Island, wherever his mom lives, or where the baby's mothers live, and Justine's kids live with them in Pennsylvania. So okay, now let's go over to oh God, it was Cameron and Eris. Hold on one second. Hey, shh. So let's go to Cameron and Eris. Okay, so Cameron meets Eris's daughter okay, always confuse this. Eris is the woman, Cameron's the guy, the names, right? So Cameron meets Eris's daughter for the first time. And it was so funny because she was like low-key shading him, right? She was like, oh, I didn't think he'd be as tall as me. She's like 9 years old, right? She's like, I expected him to be a little bit taller than that. And it's just crazy because this daughter who Eris confides in like she's an adult, right, is they've had their telephone chats and stuff, but this is her first time actually meeting who is about to be her stepdad one day before the wedding. I mean, talk about timing. My God, I don't agree with this. When you got kids, I just think it's a whole different ball game the way you go about stuff like this, right? I mean, it's different if you've been out for a really long time, you guys were dating and knew each other, and then you introduce them to the kids, maybe, but not the way she did it. I don't agree with that. So they go bowling, and apparently she's a pretty decent bowler, and he didn't know it, so he felt a little bit clowned, right? So now, Justine and Michael, she gets back home, And Michael does not want her basically to go to work anymore. I'm like, what's going on with this? So he wants her to come work for him. I'm like, wait a minute, listen. I know we have to create, we have to, promote our businesses and things like that. And you got to believe in yourself, 300 times more than the next person. But I mean, is Montana Mills making money like that, where he can put Justine on the payroll? That seemed a little odd to me. Now, maybe there's something that I don't know. I don't know, but it just seems to me that, with 7 kids, and, she's talking about she hasn't been feeling good, maybe she's pregnant or whatever. If we're talking 7 kids and possibly one on the way, how in the world? How in the world are we actually going to be taking care of all of these kids? Is there enough money coming from his music career to be able to finance all of that? I mean, it does not appear to be that way. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't know. But he's all happy because, like, he wants another kid. I mean, apparently they don't have enough children. I don't know. But people's fertility is their own business. It's none of mine. They can have 500 kids if they want. But I am, probably like the rest of the world, wondering where's the money coming from, right? So, oh, is there a voice delay? Uh-oh. Thank you for letting me know. Is it still like that? Is there still a voice delay? Can you give me a thumbs up and let me know? Is it better now? Hopefully it's better now. Okay, I'll wait for you guys to respond if it's sounding a little bit crazy still. If it's sounding crazy, I'll restart and come back in. Okay, but hopefully it's better now. So, all right. Thank you for letting me know. So let's get on over to, oh my goodness. Oh, it's not better? All right. Okay, hang on, guys. Let me just restart this real quick. Let me restart this. Hang on. Thank you.